This is the Google Pixel 9 with Gemini. And this is Anne.
Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a very good Sunday. This video, we're going to talk about avoiding Super Bowl winner futures altogether. And we are just, I would stick with a three-way Super Bowl Exacta Hedge. Now, the premise of this is to obviously come away with a net value of $10 per dollar that you stake in a Super Bowl future Exacta. Now, I guess the Super Bowl Exactas are not here anymore on the app that I use, but basically, if you're hedging with three possible Super Bowl outcomes at, let's say, 10 to 1 or 15 to 1, or who knows if it's 20 to 1 for the third one. But basically, the premise of this is to come away with, to make it very comfortable to watch the playoffs, knowing that you have three possible winners to emerge as the Super Bowl champion. Now, I think it is a given that the Lions are going to play in the Super Bowl. So the only risk with this strategy is if the Lions don't win the NFC. But 49-7 or something, they did that to the Titans. This team is for real. And the second best team in the NFC, Jalen Hurts, is a huge turnover machine. So you can't really count on Philadelphia to win the NFC, especially if they go up. Remember how they did against San Francisco last year, or just turnovers. And that's the thing that makes the Eagles a very risky proposition. But I think it's that easy. 16 seasons after going 0-16, the Lions are going to play in the Super Bowl, and Jared Goff is number 16. I told you that at the start of the year. The top futures bet of the year was the Lions to win their conference at 4 to 1, 5 to 1 at the beginning of the year. So under this Super Bowl Exacta strategy, you are risking the fact that the Lions don't have a chance of not playing in the Super Bowl. So in other words, they're going to win the NFC. So if Lamar Jackson's an MVP, if the Ravens they had to always go on the road to win the Super Bowl. And Lamar Jackson's playing like an MVP. So if this is Lamar's year of the comeback, then Ravens to win the Super Bowl would produce tremendous odds, especially if they don't win the division, they have to go on the road and win every game. Well, the Chiefs and the Lions kicked off 2 season openers ago. And what if you had David versus Goliath? The underdog Lions, who America would be rooting for against the hated Kansas City Chiefs, who have taken over the role as supervillain for the NFL after the end of the Tom Brady New England Patriots era. So basically with that, you're dealt with 2 outcomes. Number one, the Chiefs complete a historic three-peat for the ages, and the Lions suffer heartbreak like the Cardinals did when they went up against the Steelers as a 9-7 team. Number two, everybody is ecstatic, and the Lions shock the world. The Detroit Lions, out of all teams, deny the Chiefs a three-peat. Sean McVay decides to go with Stafford to win the Super Bowl. Stafford does deliver, but then Jared Goff could have the opportunity to prove to his former coach, Sean McVay, that he is, in fact, a Super Bowl winning caliber quarterback. And that's the storyline that impresses me with Jared Goff. Now, Jared Goff has a history of running up the scoreboard against the Chiefs. Think back to a Monday Night Football game. It was 2017 or 2018. The game ended like, what was it, 51-48? It was one of the greatest Monday Night Football games ever. So imagine if Jared Goff gets a chance to run up the scoreboard against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So that's basically 3 Super Bowl exactas where you'll still come away 8-1, 9-1, regardless if the 2 other outcomes don't happen. It's just would make it a very comfortable playoffs to watch. I need this team to win the AFC. Oh, you can sit back and kick back and put your feet up on the table, and you know the Lions going to win the NFC, and you know that regardless of who wins between the Ravens and the Chiefs, then you're guaranteed to win regardless. So, don't be pissing your pants and just going through a really stressful ordeal. If you can come in and do Chiefs over Lions and Ravens over Lions and Lions over Chiefs, they will just make the playoffs super relaxing to watch. So that's probably the top reason to do all that. Of course, again, what has to go right is the Lions have to play in the Super Bowl for this strategy to pay off. But I think it's worth the risk to do so. Did Lamar Jackson get picked off? He did. He got picked off. Are they saying incomplete or is that I don't think there's an incomplete pass. I think that's interception. Oh, the receiver! He had it! He just takes it. Did he really take it away from him? Damn. That interception is dope. The Chiefs guy or the Ravens guy had it right, and the Steelers guy was trying to knock the ball out, but somehow when the receiver went to the ground, the Steelers guy came away with the football, so that's an interception. This is why you can never, ever give up on a play. You never know what happens on any play. Fight and knock the ball loose. Try to grab onto the ball. Hope the wide receiver lets go of the ball. That's a pretty dopey interception that I just saw right there. It looked like the Ravens guy caught it, should have held on to it, and then the Steeler guy just grabs it. What does Gene Steratore have to say?
I don't think that football was completely secured when he goes down by contact. It would have been.
Or he's down by contact. He's down by contact.
Away from him, which makes it an interception down by contact and a great play by Herbert. Steelers were ready to get to the line and snap it. Players on the field.
Yeah. Is a white supremacist like Donald Trump really going to welcome a black man like Lamar to the White House? I think that's the racist factor. Donald Trump is not going to welcome Lamar to the White House. Chiefs three-peat. Donald Trump is going to be the worst president ever and try to run a 3rd term and overthrow the U.S. Constitution. Ooh, the Packers came back. This is a pretty easy day for moneyline picks. I mean, I didn't even bet on the Ravens-Steelers game because, it's Ravens-Steelers. Anything can happen in that game. I think the Saints just scripted 2-0, lose every game, fire the coach, and the Saints are 2-0 again, so that one was pretty easy. I like the Bills to beat the Chiefs. I'm heading out to the bar for that one, so I won't be here for that. What's the Monday night game tomorrow? Apparently, the Cardinals-Vikings could be flexed onto Monday Night Football. That'd be pretty dope, man, if it does happen. 2 playoff teams, the Cardinals on a big winning streak. If they beat the Seahawks next week, maybe the Vikings can end the Cardinals' winning streak because Cardinals are not losing to Seattle. That team sucks.
They don't pay a price for it. Wilson gets the interception. They come back now on offense again. Russell Wilson fortunate on that interception. They did cost his team points. It's Lamar Jackson's third interception of the season. Check down.
Yeah, three-way hedge is a very sound strategy. I'll do some number crunching to see what the overall return on the investment would be should you come in and hedge on all three outcomes. I don't think Lamar can win MVP after today. Now, I like this three-way hedge strategy because obviously if the Ravens lose today, then their value goes up. So the Ravens' value goes up. Then if Ravens do go to the Super Bowl, then that's a bigger payout. But it's like regardless of it's Lions over Chiefs or Chiefs over Lions, and basically by this logic, even if both outcomes were 10-1, then hey, you still win at 9-1. That's the premise of that strategy. I hope you can understand what I'm talking about.
With the tackle for Baltimore, when we talked to Russell Wilson about the offensive growth, he said there's really a belief in what we're doing. There's no
The Chiefs are going to lose a game. They will.
and the bonding with the guys. He's 35 years old, Russell Wilson, but he said, I feel young. I feel strong.
Oh yeah, the one thing that I question about the Ravens is obviously Donald Trump does not want to. It doesn't matter for the NBA because the Warriors boycotted the White House. Gokina Bond's going to boycott the White House to begin with, because obviously Donald Trump is illegitimate president, and everybody knows that against the sheeple who get duped by the big tech and billionaires ploy to rig the election. Imagine if the Steelers kick a field goal and the Ravens get a touchdown, and now they have to go for two to try to tie the game. Lamar's Gamache of 18, so I do think the Steelers kick a field goal. Yeah, Raiders of poverty, man. That Dolphins game was easy to call. Obviously, the Dolphins are still lingering around in the playoff picture.
As of today, update to New York and out of shot. Iron Eagle look to his back. Anthony Richardson running left. 4-yard run for touchdown.
Can the Jets come back and win? Yes, they have no timeouts, but the ball at the 30-yard line. Kickers have stronger legs more than ever. All you really need is 20 yards in these under-minute situations. Ravens does have Gamache and Trump. Yeah, Steelers are going to kick the field goal, and Lamar Jackson's going to have to drive down and do something. And wow, there goes the Jets season right there. I think Joe Flacco didn't play this game. Anthony Richardson did. Oh, look at the Jets are toast. They're going to be 3-9 like Gamache of New York, I bet. Actually, the Seahawks is Gamache at 39. Could they really lose against Seattle? Hey, that's not pass interference in a Ravens-Steelers game. They let these guys get away with a little bit extra contact because of the pure nature of the physicality of this rivalry. Okay, it's 18-10, 18-10 Steelers. Lamar is Gamache of 18. Steelers with 18 points. Lamar trying to drive down, and but the Steelers will win and be 5-1 versus the AFC. Then they'll be 6-1 like the March of Cleveland Browns. They'll beat the Browns on Thursday Night Football because Cleveland Browns is Comanche 61. And also it's Louisiana, that's Comanche 61. So the Steelers are going to also beat the Browns on Thursday Night Football. They're going to win on Thursday. I guess my question is who the Steelers going to lose to. They'll probably lose against the Bengals. So yeah, the Steelers, they're going to lose at Cincinnati. They'll win at the Browns, but they'll lose against the Bengals to keep the Ravens in the playoff picture. The Ravens are going to beat the Eagles. But the Ravens have to beat the Chargers November 25th.
At Burger King, we flame grill our burgers. Why? Because that's how it should be done. Hot, juicy, smoky.
I mean, the Ravens will fall to 3-3 on the road, and they'll probably beat the Chargers. Chargers is Comanche 43. Ravens going to win on the road on Monday, the 25th of November, and then see how Pittsburgh does against the Bengals. The Bengals are still going to remain in this playoff picture.
Hey, Jeff from State Farm. What's going on here? Coach saves so much money when home on with the personal price plan. Decided to go to practice.
Man, this Saints game was an easy call. Basically, New Orleans is 4-7, right? That's basically Comanche Derek Carr. And you know that New Orleans is 3-3 at home, and Cleveland's Comanche 33. So the Saints remain alive in the playoff picture, and the Broncos are probably going to beat the Falcons. Falcons will lose again because the Buccaneers played some very tough teams. You know, the two teams that played in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the 49ers. So the Buccaneers are going to stay alive in the division. And then somehow the New Orleans Saints, they still have a chance. You can never say never, but the Saints stay in the playoff picture. And of course, Atlanta falls to 3-2 away. 32 is Comanche of Denver and Broncos. So this will be a turnover-filled performance by the Falcon running backs and Kirk Cousins. Because again, the Bucs and now the Saints both have to be in play for the NFC South.
We're at 28 and white as he goes down. He gets blocked by Louderville.
Man, that Packers-Bears game was a lock. There was no upset risk with that game, was there?
CBS Monday, November 25th.
Chicago's 46 and the Bears fall to 4-6, and the Packers are 7-3, and Packers is Comanche 73. So that game was pretty easy. The Bills are going to beat the Chiefs. The Bills are going to beat them because now the Bills have a chance to be the number one seed. It's about keeping things interesting for the rest of the NFL season. And the Steelers, they only have 2 losses, so you can say the Steelers are in the running for home field. But I do like the Bengals to beat the Steelers.
His vast knowledge of the game far exceeds that of his 14-year-old brain. With NFL Plus Premium, you too.
Because we have to look out for that AFC wild card. Now the Colts winning, they're a game outside the division, but the Texans, they're not losing against Dallas, right? They're going to beat Dallas.
Fantastic numbers this season, but held in check today once again on the Pittsburgh defense. Ravens have 3:29 to work with all 3 timeouts. Texans pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Cam Hayward getting penetration for Pittsburgh.
All right, Lamar, your move. What does Lamar Jackson have in store?
Inside. And look at Hayward matching the hand.
He never does well against Pittsburgh, does he?
Lamar Jackson.
He always struggles against the Steelers.
Just 2 completions for wide receivers all game. 1 to Flowers, 1 to Bateman. He's now at 39% on his completion rate. 2nd and 10, Jackson.
Running back, look at him. He can't stay in the pocket.
Jackson out of the pocket, step up and throw.
Receiver dropped it. Oh, he choked. He gone can't do that. You gone can't do that.
And this took so long for a receiver to work himself free. And then he does
I just hit him in the chest. He didn't even get his hands on the ball. Man, what was he doing?
the hand on the face mask. And he gets away from
World's greatest scramble without completing a completion.
doesn't grasp it. So a lot of times that gets missed. It's 3rd and 10.
What a crap performance. 27 passing attempts and 133 yards. That was a soft zone right there. Lamar hit him for the first down.
Move the chains. Line of scrimmage is at the 42. Under 3 minutes to play. Jackson.
Soft prevent. You know the NFL is scripted. Suddenly when they go in soft prevent, you know, at the end of the game where you have the 2-minute offenses and you want to, they can drive down and tie it. They can drive down and win it. So it's a atypical prevent defense you see right there by Pittsburgh. A soft zone, not an outright prevent, but a very soft zone.
Jackson trying to run. The Steelers were there. Jackson will get a half-yard. Dean Lowry ready for Jackson on that inside try. Take us to the 2-minute warning. This is the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play. The 2-team race in the AFC North. Again, Steelers, Ravens coming down to the wire.
They'll go for 2. They may miss it, or it could go to overtime. Imagine if it does go to overtime.
Not going anywhere, pal.
49ers going to easily beat the Seahawks, man. The 49ers own the Seahawks. This team thought they were making the playoffs. Look at where they're at right now. This team sucks. The Seahawks are trash.
Okay, not soccer, but yes. We honeymooned here. Yes.
Rams are crap, too. They can only beat the Patriots by 6 points. Man, Cardinals haven't even played the Patriots yet. Oh, yeah, Niners ain't got no chance of making it back to the Super Bowl. All these people, McCaffrey's back, the 49ers, yeah. Oops. Never, ever in the world have I predicted the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. That team is never, ever going to win. The gold rush is over. I'm sorry. The gold rush is over. Instead of the gold rush, you have fool's gold. This team is downright fool's gold. I think this time if the Lions play San Francisco, they're going to destroy them, and they won't even give them the chance to come back in the game. Louisiana, New Orleans is where the Super Bowl is going to be played at. New Orleans. We'll see if Tom Brady gets to see Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady, his first game that he played wasn't against the Jets. His first appearance was against the Detroit Lions. He completed 1 of 3 passes, but He came in relief after Drew Bledsoe got hurt, but his first ever appearance was against the Lions, and the Lions are going to make it to Tom Brady's first Super Bowl as a color commentator. So the AFC is 6-4 in Tom Brady Super Bowls. As a player. I think 65 is Camacho Caesar Superdome. Not sure how 7-4 connects to Louisiana. He was 6-3 in the Super Bowl with the Patriots. He played in the NFC with the Bucs. That's how he gets 6-4. Kansas City Chiefs is Camacho 64 too. Lamar does it again. The NFL is scripted. Who's surprised? Offensive pass interference. Don't call that. This one will be on the defense. In case if he didn't catch it, they're going to call it on the defense. Oh, no! Ineligible man downfield. You got to be kidding me. He got fucked up big time.
So you're blocking the run action. Now you're waiting for the screen. It doesn't happen. You got a few guys downfield at that point. They call McCarry, but you also had 77 Lele downfield as well. That is 12
Big penalty. The Steelers is Camacho 46. The ball is at the 46-yard line.
This is now 3rd and 9 for 46. 126.
Go Lamar!
Jackson pulls the trigger, and he's got Justice Hill looking to the outside. First down, Baltimore.
NFL, it didn't matter about the penalty. We need to have a dramatic ending, right? He's got to get a touchdown and go for 2.
What a block by Mark Andrews. Watch 89 and the effect he has on this play. He's not going to get the football, but he creates what turns into a significant gain downfield.
NFL is rigged. The Bills are going to win. Look at this soft prevent defense. This was an easy 8 yards by the receiver. These defensive coordinators are in on the scripted action. There's no doubt about it. These guys are told to go play in soft prevent zone towards the end of games to set up these dramatic 2-minute offenses, but it does get predictable.
Remember this situation, Pittsburgh says they're very comfortable with going down the stretch. This defense has been there a number of times, and you're not defending just a touchdown. You're defending a touchdown and a 2-point try.
If Lamar does come back and win the game, the Steelers can fall to 7-3 like Camacho Jackson. I think in the city of New Orleans, Louisiana is Camacho 82. He wasn't even close to providing tight coverage on the receiver. It's like they wanted the 2-point conversion, obviously. They wanted the 2-point try. What was the point spread for this game? Oh, the Ravens, they were 3-point favorites, right? Even if they win on a field goal in overtime, that doesn't cover the spread.
The last 8 meetings between these two teams have been decided by 1 score. The play never happens. Whistle dead. Timeout, Pittsburgh. That looked like jump pass. Timeout.
What's Lamar's statistical tally so far in the game?
106 to play.
Scripted. It was a 16-yard touchdown pass for the 16th points. Lamar, 16th completion, 16 points, 16-yard touchdown. See how they scripted by numbers. 207 passing yards. Baltimore Ravens is 207. So, yep, this is one of the most scripted ending to a football game I've seen all season long. Baltimore Ravens, Camacho, 207. Lamar, 207 passing yards. 16 completion, 16 points, 16-yard TD. Steelers win 18-16. Lamar, Camacho, 18. Although if the Ravens get the stop, they could kick the game-winning field goal. So the game is not necessarily over, is it? Ravens have 3 timeouts. Do the Steelers get a first down? The Steelers have 17 first downs. If they get the 18th first down in the game is over. Steelers with 18 points trying to get their 18th first down to kill off the game. Ravens have to play the timeout game. You have to let your opponent know that you're going for an onside kick. This stuff is gay.
See this alignment with Baltimore. They're kicking it deep because they're all the way on the other end of the field. So that tells you.
Well, I still like Arsenal until Christmas break, but it may very well be Liverpool. But they're going to lose against Man City first week of December because it's the Premier League. They find a way to keep it interesting. But yeah, City are definitely not winning the title. Rodri is the most important player on that team. He's the Ballon d'Or. They're not going to win the league without the Ballon d'Or candidate. Just so stupid to look at this new kickoff formation. It's stupid. Does this guy still have legs to run the read option? Russell Wilson? That's what they're probably going to do. Read option, kill off the game.
Baltimore can stop the clock 3 more times. First down from the 30. It's all about ball security. Motion Miller, handoff Harris, gets down low.
Hey, they may very well get the ball back.
102 on the clock. 2 remaining. Timeout. 30 seconds.
Jackson is Camacho of 19, so imagine if the Ravens do get the ball back. Jackson's Camacho 19. The Ravens can win the game without covering the point spread. Yeah, the Ravens on spread, you lose. And Ravens still win the game. Games are manipulated. So they're running a 2-quarterback system. Justin Fields not very good, is he? I don't know how the Steelers do it, really, with these terrible quarterbacks. Read option. What did I say? Read option. He slid 1 yard short. I did say to run the read option.
So Fields had the right idea, the play call was there, the execution was there, and then Fields goes down a yard short. He's doing the right thing, taking care of the football, don't turn it over. When he started to slide too soon, one more step, and this thing's a wrap.
Maybe try sneak it right there. Fullback dive, 3rd and 1, jumbo package, kill off the game.
So Russell Wilson will come back in. It's 3rd and 1 with 57 seconds left. 74 is the
Anytime you have a dual threat quarterback, when they're trying to play the timeout game, you always want to try to work it outside because they're trying to stop the run on the inside.
Almost think about considering Fields one more time with your quarterback play with a little more elusiveness to try to pick up this first down and finish it. Baltimore has one timeout left. It's 3rd and 1. Tight formation. Harris in the backfield with Hayward in front of him.
Timeout.
And the Steelers will take a timeout. 30 seconds. One remaining for Pittsburgh. 57 seconds on the clock.
All right, 18th first down. Do they get it?
What's on the line here? First place in the AFC North. As we hit week 11, amazingly enough, this is the first division game for Pittsburgh this season, and now Fields returns for the Steelers. I think it's the right idea with him. Whether you keep it in his hands or not, it's a different threat that Baltimore has to defend here on 3rd down and short. 3rd and 1. Steelers are trying to end it. Ravens trying to stay in it. Step in. Fields. Give it up. Najee Harris. He's got enough for the first down.
Ball game over. Time to go to the bar and watch the Steelers, watch the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. There's the ball game. So the Steelers are going to attempt to go for 6-1 against the AFC when they take on and defeat the Cleveland Browns, and the Steelers are going to lose against the Bengals because it's Joseph Burrow. That's Camacho 62. So the Steelers are going to lose against Cincinnati to fall to 6-2 in the conference, and they'll obviously beat the Browns. So this division could still come down to Ravens, Steelers. I think they play before Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I think the Ravens could still come back and win the division. Steelers, Ravens, December 21st, and the Ravens get the Texans and the Browns. Could they win the division against the other team from Cleveland? The Ravens get the Giants before they play Pittsburgh, too. In the Steelers, they have to play the Chiefs. So the Steelers play the Eagles on December the 15th. And the Steelers have to play a Bengals team that will need to beat Pittsburgh to make it to the playoffs January the 5th. So, yeah, the Steelers, those are a pretty difficult last 4 games of the season. So I think the Ravens can still win that division.